What's going on? We're going to wait for just a few more people to join. Okay. We got like 8 people here. Okay. 11. Hello. Okay. Our spirit guides are here. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk toxic families. Okay. And this problem is very, very prevalent in across all races, across all cultures. But it needs to be addressed and it needs to be talked about. Because like families are giving this whole toxic agenda about how you have to stick with family and family first and family is all you have and blase blase. But they don't talk about how families could be the first people to betray you, the first people to bully you, the first people that are going to do you dirty behind your back. And no one talks about that. See, they want to talk about family because they want to do this whole blind loyalty. Like, they want you to be loyal to somebody that is not loyal to you behind your back. How does that work? I mean, look at it this way. Would you be loyal to a friend that's not loyal to you behind your back? So why is it any different with family? It's not any different. Because at the end of the day, y'all are family, but at the end of the day, y'all are just people. And a lot of people that grew up in toxic, dysfunctional families, they look at their family members as just people. They don't even really know each other on a soul level. They don't have very much of a deep connection with their family. They don't even really know their family like that. Just because they hang around each other, just because you all have the same blood, doesn't mean that you really know them. We have people in families where they don't even get a chance to get to know their children. They don't even get a chance to know their siblings. They don't spend time with them. The only time they see each other is when they're at home or at gatherings. But even when they're at home, they don't do much to learn about each other or spend time with each other, talk to each other. You know, it's crazy because it's like your family could know your buttons on what buttons to push, and they'll continue to push those buttons, but they don't know about the other triggers about what's hurting you. You see, toxic families enjoy watching you suffer. They enjoy watching you suffer because it makes them feel better about their life and what they got going on. But you see, real loving families, they're not going to just sit back and watch you suffer and be okay with it. They're going to be there for you when you're suffering, when you're hurt, when you're in pain. And many times, people have gone to their families, to their parents, to their siblings, and they have cried out for help. Like, I really need help. I'm going through it. And the family has turned their back on them. Like, they don't even care about them. Like, they turned their back on them. But what if that family member was to off themselves? And then and now they're planning a funeral, but all of the signs were there. How do we break this curse? Sometimes you have to just leave people where they are at. You got to just leave them where they're at. And sometimes you have to leave your family exactly where they are at. If your family members want to continue to enable abusers, they want to get mad at you for setting boundaries with abusers. Like, if you decided to go no contact with an abuser and they wanted to guilt you for it, that family member does not have your best interest at heart. They don't care about your pain. They don't care about your suffering. They don't. If they want to continue to protect your abusers, to enable your abusers, to make excuses for them, those family members need to be cut off. Create some distance. Because you are wasting your time and energy and your love on people that are not loving you in return. A big truth that we have to face is that not all families love each other. You know how they say, like, you don't always like them, but you always love them. Sometimes they may not even always love them. Listen, when you grow up in narcissistic families and narcissistic households, there's no love that's there. How they treat each other, that's not love. That is not love. We can go into the Bible right now, into Corinthians. Where is Corinthians? Corinthians in the First Testament. We can go into I gotta find it. Okay, I'm finna just do this. We finna look into the Bible right now. So go into 1 Corinthians. Where is it? Oh, it's in the New Testament. I'm sorry. Because in the New Testament, in 1 Corinthians, they talk about exactly what it means to be, what love actually is. Okay, what is it again? 1292. Okay, where is it? 1 Corinthians. I think it's in chapter 4. No, it's not chapter 4. I'm finding it, y'all. I'm finding it because it needs to be. We need to talk about it. I know it's in Corinthians. You know what? Where'd my other phone go? No, because I want to bring the scripture out here. Okay. Love is patient. Love is kind. Oh, it's 13:4-8. There we go. 13. Okay, here we go. Hello. Okay, see, in the King James Version, they replaced the word love with charity, but I'm going to just go ahead and just say love. So, love suffers long and is still kind. So when a person that is full of love, they have suffered, but they are still kind. And when it comes to you loving your family, when you see your family members suffering, when they have suffered long, you're going to be kind to those members because you know they're already suffering. But if a family member is not kind to you while you are suffering and they're causing more suffering, that's not family. That's not love. That's not what love is. Love is right here in the Bible. God is love. God instructs us on what love is. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 talks about what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love suffers long and is kind. Love envies not. Love does not envy. Your family, listen, the thing is, like when a person, let's break down envy. When a person is envious, that is where a person is upset because you have something that they don't have. But when it comes to family, you all came from the same parents, you all came from the same womb, and it's like what your siblings have, you have. They are a part of you. You all are a unit. So when you're envying your own sibling, why are you envying them when you yourself can have the same exact blessing? You see, that's the problem with this world today. They want to compare themselves to other people, and family want to compare themselves to other family members. Like, how was it that they got that first? Why they got the good car? Why they got the apartment first? How come they got married first? How come they had children first? How come they got this first? Why them and not me? Just because they are and that's really what that is like, you're mad because of God chose to bless them at this time. When God wants to bless people with a promotion, with a new job, with a new relationship, with a child, with a new home, that is their due season. You have no idea what they went through in their other season. When it's time for their season, for them to be blessed, that's when God is choosing to bless them. That's their appointed time. And when you see your loved ones, your siblings getting blessed, that is inspiration to let you know you're next, baby. You are next. They have it, but you will have it as well. But right now it's their season in their life. Your season in your life is coming, and that be the problem. People be thinking that the enemy turns to jealousy when you think that because they have it, that they feel like they can't have it either. It's like when you have a sibling is jealous. Like, let's say there's a sister jealous of another sister. This sister is looking like, how come that sister has everything? So they see the sister getting all of these amazing accolades or all these great things, and then the sister that's jealous is thinking in their mind that because the little sister has it, that the other sister feels like she's not going to get it, or that the little sister is taking that opportunity away from her. No, there was no opportunity being taken away from you. The only person that could stand in the way of you getting your opportunity is yourself. And that's the problem with people. They be thinking that just because someone else is getting something, that means they're taking that opportunity away from me. That means that I'm not going to get it. So let me go destroy and sabotage them. That is when the envy turns to jealousy. And we have way too many people that are jealous of their own family members because of their own internal issues, because they can't see their sibling be happy. If your sibling is getting blessed and great things are happening for them, a loving sibling would be happy about it, would be praising, would be rejoicing, happy. But if you are feeling some type of way, if you are getting mad, if you are getting jealous, if you are trying ways to sabotage that sibling from receiving that, or if you feel like the sibling doesn't deserve it, what makes you think you deserve this? That is jealousy. And that means that sibling has some stuff that they got to deal with in their own heart so that they can heal. Because a person that looks at another person being blessed and they feel a negative reaction to another person being blessed, they have some healing to do on themselves. Because when it's their season to be blessed and other people are thinking negative, they're going to be thinking, oh, this person is just hating, that person is just bitter. Yeah, that's what a person will think. And that's exactly how those siblings are acting when that stuff happens. Hiya, how are you? It says love vaunted. I don't know that word. This is love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. So I feel like what they're saying is that love is not like self-serving. You're not like only looking after yourself. You're not like having this overinflated ego where this big old head where all you're worrying about is you being satisfied and you being cared for. Like love is reciprocal. Love is reciprocal. But if you're looking at love as where you want to be loved, but you're not willing to give love in return, that's not love. That's not love. That is no. And we have many people here, we have many family members out here where they expect they feel entitled for certain family members, like their siblings or their parents, to show up for them every single time while they are not even showing up for their family members. They expect all of this loyalty while they are not giving the same exact loyalty. And the big thing that happens is you have siblings that are competing amongst each other. Siblings that want to be the first one to get this. Siblings that, want to take away opportunities, want to sabotage opportunities when their other sibling is getting something. Where like if one sibling is entering into a new relationship and there's another sibling that is single, that single sibling that's envious and jealous will find so many ways to sabotage that relationship, because they like, no, you need to be single like I'm single. If I like, that's the thing. It's like, but if that single jealous sibling was getting into a relationship, they would not nobody would be trying to sabotage them, but why are they trying to sabotage somebody else? You see, all families got that rotten apple. They got that rotten fruit. Rotten fruit always falls. Rotten fruit always falls. You don't have to go pluck it. You don't have to drop it. It's going to fall on its own. But how do we break this curse of dealing with toxic family members? By walking away. In the names of family, we're saying this is not family. This is not love. I will not participate. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm walking away. That's how we break that curse. Bravely, boldly, courageously, unapologetically walking away from the dysfunction, walking away from the toxicity. Because they want to keep you trapped in that loop. They want to keep you trapped in this whole cycle where you're constantly being abused and mistreated and put down. But they want you to show up in the best possible way for them while all they do is shit on you. That's not how that works. That's not how it works. So let's go into the black sheep. The black sheep is the one that sees beyond the veil. They see all of the BS that exists within a toxic family. They see right through everybody. They see their parents as people. And a lot of times, especially when the black sheep becomes an adult, when they become an adult and they see their parents through adult eyes, through a totally different lens, like they've completely separated. They're like, I'm not looking at them as this is my parent. I'm looking at them as this is a person. I'm looking at this man. I'm looking at this woman as a woman. I'm looking at this man as a man. I'm not looking at my mother. I'm not looking at my father. I'm looking at a man and a woman. I'm looking at a woman and a man as they are. And when you look at them for who they are as people, a lot of times the black sheep will realize that their families, their parents are not good people. They look at their siblings the same way and they see, you know what, they're just not good people. And it's okay if you see your toxic siblings, your toxic parents as not good people, because if they're not a good person, they're not a good person. And what makes you real is you saying, I don't care if I don't care that they're my family, because if they are not a good person, I'm not finna bring myself around them. I'm definitely not finna bring my children around them. Because if they would mistreat you, they could mistreat your children as well. Mistreating your children as a way to hurt you. Let me tell you something. To those of you that have children and you have young babies, like babies and toddlers, and you bring your babies and toddlers around certain family members, if your baby they going up to the grandparent or the uncle or auntie, and if that child gets afraid, if they get scared, if they run away, if they cry if a grown adult tries to pick that baby up and the baby is no and they want to run away, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Don't just write it off as, oh, that's just separation anxiety. They just want their mommy. Yeah, that's one thing. But when a child feels safe with somebody, even if they don't know where their parents are, if they feel safe with another adult, they will be fine and they will stay exactly where they are. When they see their parent, then they're going to get down and go to their parent. But if a child, a baby, does not want to be around a certain adult in the family, if they're walking away from them, if they are feeling uncomfortable, if they cry when that adult touches them or picks them up, that adult has a bad spirit and the baby can sense it. Babies' third eye is wide open. Babies and animals, they're wide open. Wide open. They can sense good people. They can sense good spirits. And they can sense bad ones too. And when that baby is not wanting to be around you, like if your baby don't want to be around your daddy or be around your mama or be around your uncle or auntie or your sister or your brother, trust that. Don't bring your children around somebody that they are feeling uncomfortable with. Listen to your children, bro. They are telling you everything. Because babies can sense things that we can't sense all the time. Let's also talk about how narcissistic parents do not love their children. They don't. This took me a long time to realize this, and this was a very tough pill for me to swallow. And at first I didn't want to believe it, but God had to show me multiple times when I believed that, oh, I think my parent loves me. God had to be like, baby, I'm sorry, but I got to tell you the truth that they do not. And I got to show you. I have to show you that this ain't love. I got to show you that that person does not love you. How did I know that my dad didn't love me? When I told my dad that I had been SA'd, R-word, he didn't even bat an eye. He didn't even care. Nothing within his system, his blood did not boil. He did nothing to support me emotionally. Now, one time did he look at my attacker as the attacker was the problem. He looked immediately at me and was like, well, what did you do? Why did you put yourself in that situation? Did you report it? Like, his whole demeanor was just, I really don't care. What are you telling me this for? And it's your fault. Somehow it's your fault. I talked to him and I gave him another chance. I talked to him about it again. And still, once again, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. And I asked him, I said, okay, well, Dad, how do you feel? And he's like, well, I felt bad because of this. He could not even look me in the eye when I'm asking him this. Anytime I'm talking to him, he doesn't even look me directly in the eye. That's how I know he's lying. And another thing that my dad does is he'll say some stuff like, I love all my children. He always looks up in the air like, dude, I'm right here. I'm not up there. Talk to me eye to eye. Couldn't even talk to me eye to eye and say I love all my children. You can't, because you know you're lying. And I can remember this one time when I needed my dad the most. And I needed some money. Because I was, a long story, I'm not going to get into it. But I remember calling my dad for help. And I'm saying like, hey, like I'm struggling. Can you help me out? And he asked me, well, how much do you need? So I tell him how much I need. And he tells me, well, I'm not giving you that. I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you this. And you're going to be happy about it. And when I tell you, this was the day after my birthday. I'm crying, tears streaming down my face on the phone with my dad, asking him, in this moment of vulnerability, I'm asking him, why do you hate me? His response was, I don't hate you. You're my daughter. I love you. All of that was BS. All of that was a facade. Like I could feel it in his energy that he was rolling his eyes. He didn't even care. And at that point, I was like, you told me everything I needed to know. And then if I didn't believe him then, here we go. Christmas that same year on Christmas. This past Christmas, actually. All of this happened last year, right? On Christmas, he gets everybody else, all of my siblings, my nieces, everybody else, a Christmas present. He got me nothing for Christmas. He even asked me what I wanted for Christmas. And I told him, I just want some money, Didn't give me a thing. And I'm like, okay. And last Christmas, I'm like, you know what? This just shows you're showing me exposing to me exactly how you feel about me. And I'm going to believe you. When Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you their true colors, don't try to paint a different picture. Believe them. That's exactly what I did. I believed him. And any other person that, like a loving parent, when I mention it to them, they turn their nose up. They're kind of like, why would a father do that to their child? I'm like, exactly. The only person that actually enabled him is my narcissistic brother that's turning exactly into his father. He's my older brother, and he's turning exactly into his father. And he enables the abuse. And when I'm talking to him about it, because my brother is basically going off on me asking, why did I decide to block my dad's number? And why did I decide to cut him off? And I'm explaining this to him, and I'm saying like, yeah, well, your dad didn't even give me anything for Christmas. And then my brother wants to blame me. And I'm like, okay, well, dude, you actually have 3 daughters now. Would you do that to your daughter? No, you wouldn't. So don't even try to pull that with me. Right. Narcissistic parents are not capable of love, and they don't love their children. Because if they don't love their children because they play favoritism. They play favoritism. They use their children as pawns as a way to like entertain themselves. They don't love their children because they do not have their best intentions at heart. Like narcissistic parents will live vicariously through their child. They will intentionally not support their child and help their child when their child needs them. And then when their child messes up, then they shame their child for messing up when the parent had the opportunity to help their child in any type of way. And it's one thing for narcissistic parents to just just leave and just not be a part of their child's life, and you never even see them or hear from them. Personally, I would rather have an absent parent and have the peace of your absence and just like be like, you know what, it's fine. You're gone. I can accept that. I'd rather live with your absence than go throughout my life with you physically present, but you're emotionally distant and you're emotionally, verbally, psychologically abusive. I think that's worse. I feel that is worse. When you have a parent that is around and they are abusive towards you, they are emotionally unavailable, and they basically make you feel unwanted and unloved in their presence. That's worse than their presence not being there at all. It's worse. Because there are parents that just neglect their children. They just neglect their children. And when they go, they leave them and they never come back. And then they have to live with that. But they have another parent and they're like, you know what? Maybe it was for the best, because who would have known how that parent would have been treating them had they been around? Because although they are gone, God gave that family the peace from that person being gone. But if the toxicity is there, there is no peace. There's no peace. Narcissistic parents do not create a peaceful environment. They create a hostile, dysfunctional, toxic environment. Because they are toxic, they are dysfunctional, they are cold. So they basically create the environment that's living within them because they want everybody else around them to be miserable like them. So let me tell you, the people that have dealt with narcissistic abuse to the core, to where it's harder for them to heal, is those that were raised by narcissists. Grew up in a family of narcissistic people. Because I've seen people with loving families that ran into narcissistic abuse and like friendships, or narcissistic abuse and relationships. But then once they cut those people off, they came back and they had a loving family to come back to. The key to healing is love. When you're surrounded by love, it helps you to heal quicker. So that basically they're like, this is foreign, this abuse, this is foreign to me because I didn't come from abuse. I came from love. This is right here is abuse. I'm going to get up out of this situation. That's why I feel like it's easier for them to heal from what they have been through, because they have love around them. They have love to overpower the abuse. They have that balance. But when you are raised by a narcissist, there is no balance. There is no peace. It's prison. The entire time you're constantly surrounded by toxicity. You're constantly surrounded by dysfunction. The people that were raised by narcissists has to be the strongest people living, bro. The strongest people. They're very, very strong. They have the wisdom of an elder, because they have had to go through it. So when a child that was raised by a narcissist becomes an adult and they want nothing to do with their parent anymore, no person should ever judge them. Because if they came from a loving family and loving parents that love them unconditionally, when a child has parents that love them unconditionally, they have no idea what it feels like to have a parent that loves them with condition, or a parent that doesn't love them at all. When they have both parents that love them, they have no idea what that feels like. And one thing about being raised by narcissistic people is that what that child always wants, what they have always wanted, is a loving family. It's like you live the life of Matilda. All you wanted was a loving family. You're like, I could have all the money in the world. I can have all the success in the world. I can achieve every single one of my dreams. But what good is it if I don't have a loving family around me? I think about this stuff all the time. I think how just one thing that I want is a loving family. A lot of us want that. And a lot of us, all of us that want that, we are going to get that. We just have to keep living. We just have to keep striving. We have to keep moving forward, because the more that we move forward, we're going to walk right into our soul family. We cannot give up. We cannot give up. I'm here to tell you that our feelings are valid. Everything that we feel about growing up in a dysfunctional home and growing up in a toxic, abusive family, all of our feelings are valid. And it's okay for us to grieve the type of childhood that we never got. It's okay for us to grieve the relationship that we had with our siblings that we will never receive. It's okay for us to grieve the relationship with our parent that we will never get. It's okay for you to grieve that. In fact, that's going to be a part of your healing, is the grieving process. You grieving the childhood and the life that you did not have, that you always wanted. because a part of you is still hurt and is still heartbroken by that. And that part of you needs to let out that emotion. So the current version of you can give that past version of you the space and the safety and the security to express those emotions and let it out. Baby, if you need to sob and weep, sob and weep. But you know what? If you are still living at home with your toxic family, your inner child does not feel safe to let that emotion out. So if you're ever wondering, like, you know that you're dealing with your healing and you know that the stuff from your family that you need to let out a good cry, but you don't feel like you can. You don't feel like you can because your inner child does not feel safe in that environment that you are in. Your inner child is now on survival mode. It's not on thriving mode. It's trying to survive. And a big part about survival was show no emotion. We can't let them see our emotion. Because if they see our emotion, they're going to hurt us even more. So, baby, what's happening is you're not numb to your feelings. Your inner child just does not feel safe in your environment. Once you remove yourself from that environment, you're going to allow it all to come up to the surface and it's all going to come out. And you're going to allow yourself to weep. You're going to allow yourself to grieve. Some of this pain, baby, you may not even let it out until you move out. A lot of this pain you may not even let out until you move out. And listen, it's hard out here. It's hard out here. We're going through recession. We're going through inflation. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And a lot of us may be living with our parents even though we don't want to. It may be just everyone's financial situation is different. Don't beat yourself up for not getting out as soon as you may have wanted to. Because remember that you are always where you need to be. Because if you had needed to be out right now, God would have set it up to support you beforehand so that you could be it's like you're always where you need to be. You're always everywhere that you need to be. And in the meantime, until you can get to that point, that's where you got to go to God and say, okay, God, what can I do to get myself out of this? And then God will give you the wisdom and give you the clarity to do so. And another thing that God will do is if God is basically placing you in an environment that may be a little toxic, but God is going to allow certain things to orchestrate so that you still get your peace. For example, yes, I do live at home on this day. What's today's date? Today is Friday, November 18th. Okay, timeless message. As of today, I'm living in my mother's home. Okay. But I have moments where I have the house to myself for a couple of days, a few days even. If she were to go someplace else or whatever the case is, I still get my peace. I still get my alone time because God allows that. And when I have that, I'm grateful for it. I appreciate it. I'm like, thank you. I take that time to rest, take the time to do whatever I need to do because God knows exactly what I'm dealing with, and God will orchestrate things just so that we can have what we need. Don't be so hard on yourself for you still being around them, because if you're around them and you have no choice, don't beat yourself up about it. Do what you can to protect your peace and do what you can to help yourself. Because honestly, there are people out there that was so anxious to move out. And they moved out. They got their own place. But they're struggling. They're really out there struggling. And because they may have gotten out there too soon. They may have gotten out there. They may have gotten a place where they may have gotten themselves a place where it wasn't within their means. They probably did not make a financially wise decision when they got their own place. I'm telling you, you sitting back and observing and watching the scene before you make a move is exactly how you make the best moves. You see, people that immediately jump straight into things, they end up making a lot of mistakes. But when you sit back and you observe and you calculate things before you make a move, that's when you tend to make the best move. I think the wisest thing for anybody that's living at home with their parents to do is to save up enough money. It's to first get a source of income. Get a source of income that you are earning money. Have money that you're paying your bills, and have money where you are saving up, where you're putting money into savings. Have enough saved up. When you have enough saved up and you go and get your new place, have it where you have enough saved up where if you leave, when you leave, you won't have to come back because you have everything that you need. That is the wisest thing to do. You may have to be in your parents' home for a little bit longer, maybe longer than you need to. Maybe it may buy you an extra year. Maybe it may buy you an extra 6 months. You never know what it will do. But what it'll do is it'll set you up for long-term success, because people that love to just jump ship and just jump out there and they want to get themselves a $1,500 apartment when they only make $1,000 a month, it's like you're not living within your means and you're struggling. Just for the sake of saying, I have my own place, I moved out, but you didn't make a financially wise decision. I'm telling you, baby, it's not a flex to move out on, like, a lot of young people just want to flex. Like, they want to just go out there and they want to move and they want to be like, look at what I did at this age, at 20, at 19, at 18, at 17, at 16. Baby, you're not being grown. You're just being a child that got some money and is providing for themselves and wants validation. Because a grown adult, when they handling their business, they ain't finna throw their age out there. They finna just be like, I'm handling my business, boom. But a child that wants attention, that wants validation, is gonna bring out their age. Anytime I see people on social media flexing that they got something with their age, it's like it's giving immature child that got some money is unable to provide for themselves, but they ain't really grown up here. Because children are always talking about, I'm this age, when grown people don't care about their age. A grown person gonna be like, you don't ask a woman how old she is. You don't need to worry about how old I am. I'm grown. If I'm grown, I'm grown. I'm grown enough to buy alcohol. I'm grown enough to buy tobacco. I'm grown enough to rent a hotel room. I'm grown enough. Are you grown enough to legally rent a car? Well, I am now. But yeah. I'm telling you, it's not a flex when you out there on your own, but you're struggling and you're living paycheck to paycheck. Why would you put yourself through that torture? It's nothing wrong with needing to stay at home with your parents so that you can stack up your bread, stack up your money, and then move out and get out of their hair. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually very wise to do that. But you see, this age of social media, everybody just want to flex. Everybody just want to compete against each other. Everybody want to just be the first person to do something. Everybody want to do all of this just for the attention. Like, people be out there going to grabbing their apartment, and then the first thing that they do is they got to just tell social media and alert the press and media and be, look what I got at my age. Congratulations, baby. Congratulations. But it be those people that can, like, listen, a person can provide for themselves, but can you really take care of yourself? I mean, can you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically? Can you make sure that you're eating right? Can you make sure that you're having regular doctor's appointments? Can you make sure that you're doing exactly what you need to do? Can you make sure that you're showing up for yourself? I'm telling you, adulthood starts in the mind. A lot of people think that you're an adult when you're making all of this money. Please, children make plenty of money. Are they adults? No. Providing for yourself does not equate you taking care of yourself. That's just you providing for yourself. But you want to get to a point where you are providing and taking care of yourself. Because that's a big thing. Because you can take care of yourself and provide for yourself. You may not be able to provide everything that you need or everything that you want. But if you're providing your needs, you're fine. You could still be a mature, grown adult even if you are living at home with your parents. And I don't want you to think that you're not. Because your toxic parents may try to tell you, oh, you're not grown until you move out on your own. but you have way more sense than them. You can hold grown people conversations. You see things from an adult mind. Once this mindset shifts and you see things differently, you see things as an adult, you are an adult. Adulthood comes with maturity. It doesn't come with age. And let me tell you, when you're going to start meeting other people around you that are older or around your age, you're going to start seeing people from totally different age brackets. And you're going to see people that you are younger than, but you are more mature than them. You are wiser than them. You have a stronger head on your shoulders. You got more sense than them. They act childish. They act like they are younger than you. And you're thinking like, but wait a minute. Because not every grown adult is mature. Some people are just age girls and age boys, but they are not men and they are not women. Thank you. Not everybody is a man, not everybody is a woman. Some people are just age boys and age girls. And when you come across those people, you got to stay clear away from those people, because those people are going to continue to bring you down. They will seriously bring you down. And listen, because we digressed all over the place with this message. But as we are approaching this holiday season, this is your confirmation. If you do not want to show up to the family functions this holiday season, you do not have to. This is your choice. You can stay at home. You can stay home. And if something happens where, let's say that the gathering is actually at your house or something like that, you can stay in your room. You can stay away from everybody else. You do not have to engage and involve yourself with anybody. Because at this point, baby, if it's at your house, what you gonna do? Leave the house? I mean, if you can, then do so. But if you don't want to leave the house, stay home. You know what I'm saying? Come out, speak, and then go back out to come out, say hello to people, and then go back to your room. You do not have to engage. Don't allow people to force you to do that. But if it's not at your house and you don't want to go, you do not have to go. Don't allow anybody to guilt trip you. Don't allow anybody to manipulate you. Don't allow anybody to force you to go. If you don't want to go, then don't go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. This is your life. You have free will. You have your own choices, and you can make your own decisions. And right here, how you handle this holiday season is going to really show yourself how strong your boundaries are. Show up for yourself and set those boundaries this holiday season. If you want to go, then go. But if you don't have to. And make sure that you are going because you actually want to go, not because you feel obligated to, or not because you're forced to. If people want to yell at you and scream at you, just be like, you can yell and holler and scream all you want to, but I'm not about to go. You think that's going to make me want to go even more? No, it's not. You don't have to show up nowhere where you're going to be tolerated, not appreciated. You ain't got to show up nowhere where people are going to be toxic towards you. You ain't got to show up nowhere where people don't make you feel welcome. It's time for you to create your own traditions and your own memories with these holidays. And you can do that just by yourself. By yourself, baby. I mean, honestly, this is what I encourage people to do. And I'm going to do this myself as well. For the holiday season, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, Black Friday, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day. We got a few holidays coming up. You go about that day the way you want to. From the moment that you open your eyes to the moment that you lay your head at night when it's time for you to go to sleep, you go about that day the way you want to go about it. You are the main character. Your own agenda. Your schedule. You ain't got to follow the schedule of everybody else. You ain't got to follow everybody else's agenda. You be independent and do your own thing. Your own thing. This holiday season. And why am I asking you to do that? Why am I encouraging you to do that? Because this is you finally gaining your independence and realizing that you can live and thrive without them. And you'll also basically realize What is it that you would like to do on those certain holidays? Because everything else was always what you were forced to do, what you had to do. What if I'm talking to somebody right now that doesn't even like to go out for holidays? They like to just stay at home and they like to just chill. They don't really like to go out, but they were forced to go out when they were growing up. They were forced to go out because their family wanted them to. And now at this point in time, they're like, I'm going to stay home this time because this is what I want to do. I really want to see what it's like when I stay home the whole entire time and I don't go out. Give yourself that opportunity. Give yourself that opportunity to go about your holiday the way that you want to go about it, not how somebody else wants to go about it. I mean, baby, you ain't even got to cook the same food that y'all make every single year. Try something different. Try something new. I'm even wondering, people don't get tired of making turkey and ham every Thanksgiving. They don't get tired of the dressing and the greens and the mashed potatoes and the macaroni and cheese. They don't get tired of that. Y'all don't want to make something else? They don't get tired of the same old thing over and over? Y'all don't get tired of that? I know y'all are tired of it. And if you're tired of it, create a new tradition for yourself. Do something different. Baby, I was even thinking, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to cook that regular stuff for Thanksgiving. I'm thinking I want to cook me a nice pasta. Like the way I look at, the way I look at Thanksgiving. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to go about my Thanksgiving. I'm going to go about my Thanksgiving and I'm going to make me a nice breakfast. A nice breakfast. Because I used to hate when I had to wait all freaking day to eat some food. And I'm getting all cranky. And I'm like, no, bro. I'm going to make me a nice breakfast. Nice hot cup of tea. I'm going to chill. And then when it comes time for it's later on in the evening time. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and make some food. Make me a nice pot of pasta. I love to make pasta. And that's a dish that I love, that I want to make for myself. And I'll have enough where it can last me probably the rest of the weekend. Right? I'm probably going to put like my Cajun pasta. I put like sausage, shrimp, chicken, boom, bell peppers, whatever, boom. Probably make a vlog about it. But anyway. But that's how I want to go about my Thanksgiving. I make my own breakfast. I make my own dinner. I'm not making the traditional stuff that this pagan holiday created. I'm doing what I want to do. Creating my own traditions that I can continue when I have my children. Not sure what we're going to do for Christmas, but we're going to cross the road when we get there. We still in November, so I'm one day at a time. But listen, this holiday season is really the holiday season for the black sheep of the family, the people. I'm talking to my black sheeps. This is the holiday season when we really have to show up for ourselves. And if us showing up for ourselves means not showing up for them, then so be it. It's about time we put ourselves first. It's about time that we do what we want to do, not what other people want us to do. Because if we give in, if we set a boundary, and we kind of go back and renege on our boundary, they're going to feel like they can push our boundaries every single time. We have to stand firm in it. Stand firm in it. I will say this, I'm not going to my family's functions for Thanksgiving. And if they see this, I'm not going. I'm not showing up. Don't ask me to. Don't text my phone. Don't call my phone. Because y'all don't call me, y'all don't text me, y'all don't ask me how I'm doing, but y'all want to hit me up when y'all want somebody to babysit. Y'all want to hit me up when you need a favor. But I'll be talking about how I be going through depression. I'll be talking about how I be going through this. And where do y'all be? Nowhere to be found. When I show up to events, y'all be, oh, hey, we ain't seen you. What's up? You never come. But y'all still kind of kick me to the curb and brush me aside. So respectfully, I don't respect myself and I'm not showing up. And you can't force me to. At this point, I'm grown. I make my own decisions. Because I know they be watching me. I know they gonna do this. It be little birdies. Okay, little birdie. With little birdies, tell them that she's not showing up. Tell them. Since y'all want to be all in my business all the time, tell them. Because honestly, what I've noticed about being like the black sheep, we don't fit in with our family. We are literally the outsider. We are like we feel like the outcast. We just don't fit in. And I was having this vision one day. Like, okay, a lot of people dream. I dream with my eyes open. Okay, I'm clairvoyant, so I can see things with my eyes open. And I had this vision the other day. I basically had this vision, and I'm basically seeing. Okay, so I myself was placed in this vision. Okay, so I kind of have to use myself as an example here. Okay, I don't want to make this about me, but this is what I was looking at. This is the vision that God showed me. Is that there was this crowd of people, and it was a crowd of black people. Okay, I'm black. I'm a black woman. It was a crowd of black people, and basically I was wearing I basically had on like these garments, and I had on my hijab, right? So I definitely looked different. Like everybody else around me is wearing like just regular casual clothes and everything. I'm over here in long garments, modest clothing, a hijab, and I'm around all these people. Like I literally look so out of place. Like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. And I'm walking around these people, and I'm like tapping on people's shoulder. I'm trying to like get into conversation. People are like, they have their backs turned. They're talking amongst their groups. I'm trying to like tap to get in, and they like, some people are completely ignoring me. They're not even looking at all. They're not even acknowledging my existence. I'm tapping on people. Some people give me one glance and they turn around, and then it gets worse. And I'm walking around this whole group, and no one's paying attention. No one's including me. No one's saying, hey, come on over here. Nobody. And then at some point when it gets, God had to really show me this, because it's like how we feel like we are in a crowded room screaming to the top of our lungs, and nobody is paying attention. Nobody looks up. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody even cares. So what had happened is, next in the vision, I was standing in the middle of all of these people. And all I started to do was scream, help, help, help. And no one came to help. No one even turned around. Then it gets to a point where I'm screaming in agony and pain. Still, no one did a thing. And at this point, I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? So the next part of the vision, my archangels come. They come and they put this white clear shield. It was this aura. It was like this aura bubble. Like if you ever seen The Incredibles, that force field that Violet had, that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. I had this force field around me, and my archangels, my angelic presences, they were with me. Like they were, because my angels, they are in the spirit realm. I feel their presence, but this time it's like I saw them. And when I'm having this conversation with them, I'm like, at this point, I'm in this bubble, and the rest of them, they can't hear me. I can't hear them. It's like I'm protected at this point. And I'm asking my angels, what is going on? And they're like, don't worry, we have you protected, but they will never hear you. They will never include you. You will never fit in with these people because you are not meant to. They weren't saying this to hurt me, but they had to give me the truth. They had to tell me the truth. They said, these people will never be for you. These people will never care about you. These people will never genuinely care about you the way that you want them to care about you, because they do care, but not as deeply as a family should have. Okay. It's like these people are never going to be for you. These people are never going to accept you for who you are. These people are never going to include you. You will never fit in with these people. Never. The reason as to why they can't hear you is because they are not your people. You are not going to fit in with these people because you were never meant to fit in with these people. But you know what? Let me take you away from these people. You see, we had to show you what it's like and what the energy that they have towards you, so that you had no other choice but to walk away. Like when I was placed in that vision, I had to literally be in the middle of that, screaming, asking for help, and no one came. It had to show that how they treated me was the catalyst for me moving away. It's like, if we had to do this, they had to treat you this way so that you could move away, so that you can walk away to the people that you will fit in with. And then here's what happened next. What happened next is, it was as if I was in this bubble, and they kind of took me to, like, it's like, imagine we were just in this big, large gymnasium. And like an arena gymnasium, right? Kind of like a basketball center arena, right? And like the black people, you know, the family, they were in one side, and I'm in this bubble, and they took me to the other side of the gymnasium. And as I was approaching those people, I had noticed. Now, remember when I told you how I'm dressed in modest clothing? I'm wearing my garments. I have a hijab on, and they have regular clothes. So when I'm walking over here, my angels are ushering me over to this next group, I'm starting to see that I look physically more like them. I see them in their garments. I see them in their hijabs. So now I'm like, the way that I physically look, over there, I stuck out like a sore thumb. I was the outcast. I was the one that was not like them. When I'm over here, everybody else is dressed like me. Everybody else has garments like me. I'm more like these people than I am over here. So the point of the story, the moral of the story is that we don't fit in with them because we were never meant to. We stick out like a sore thumb. So what we need to do is we need to start spending more time with people of our own kind. And that's what my angels were showing me. It's like, when I came over to these people that had the garments and the hijabs like me, was showing, those people are your kind. Be around those people. Those people will accept you. And what happened is, as soon as they came over, excuse me, excuse me, y'all, sorry, hold on. And here's another beautiful part of the vision that I really loved. That when my angels ushered me over to the people that looked more like me with the garments and everything, what had happened was they took the force field around me, like the aura, they dismantled it. They got me out of it. They're like, okay, we don't need you in this aura anymore. We're gonna let you be free now. And what happened is, as soon as, because they needed to basically burst the bubble, pop the bubble, so that I can, like, you know, interact with everybody. And when I started interacting with everybody, I was noticing that, and I didn't notice anything about the men, really. Like, there wasn't really men in this, like, there were men that were there, but the people that I interacted with in this vision were women. When I came across these women, when I tell you, these women welcomed me like they had known me for years, like I was their family. I'm telling you, these women, they came and they hugged me, they embraced me, they gave me the best hugs I ever received in my life. They looked me in the eye and was just like, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Like, made me feel so welcome, so appreciated, so loved. And what that vision was telling me was, when I go spend time with my own kind, that's where I will be accepted. That's where I will be valued. That's where I will be appreciated. When you're around your own kind. And this is not just about me, but this is about you all as well. If you don't fit in with those people, you weren't meant to fit in with them. You will be accepted by people of your own kind. People that are your own kind in the spirit. Okay? And I saw somebody ask, okay, a lot of comments are kind of moving quick, but somebody in the comments asked, how do you find your people? The thing is, this is the beauty part about it. Okay, I will take that back. So part of the one thing I will say is this. You don't really find them, and they don't really find you. You kind of just find each other. It's almost as if you don't have to necessarily go to them all the time. A lot of times they will come to you. And what that means is that the universe will start sending people into your life that are of your kind, that are of your soul tribe, people that are like-minded, spiritually minded like you. God will send people into your life like that. But first, what you have to do is you have to make the shift within yourself. Because listen, if, go back to that vision, all of these people in their regular clothes, and you have me in my garments and my hijab. If I was wearing regular clothes like them, I would blend in with those people. I would try my hardest to fit in, even though I didn't fit in. But when you physically look a little bit different, when you have a different way that you present yourself, that is the clear distinction there. So when you come around these other people, you're now seeing like, okay, you know what, like they're dressed like me, they wear their hair like me, these people are more like me. How I'm showing up for myself, I'm seeing other people show up the same exact way. So what you have to start doing first is you have to first start showing up for yourself as your true authentic self. When you show up as your true authentic self, that's where your people will see you. Your people will find you. Because how can they find you when you look like everybody else trying to fit in with them? They'll see you when you like, it's okay for you to stick out like a sore thumb, because that's how your people will see you. So the way that you start is by you showing up for yourself authentically. Listen, I was raised by a Christian family. Okay? Majority of us, like, the parents are still religious, but the siblings, we're all spiritual at this point. None of my siblings, nobody in my family wears this. Okay? Because they come from we have Christians, we have Baptists, we have Jehovah's Witnesses in our family. No, like, we even have Catholic in there. But nobody does this. I'm the first one to. So basically what I'm saying is that even though your family around you, the people around you may not do what you do, you do what you do. You do what you want to do. That's going to have you show up as your true authentic self. It's going to make you feel good. The moment you start showing up how you want your soul to be expressed, that's when you are so aligned with your true soul's path. And the thing is, your soul is going to transform over time. It's going to transform over time. But listen, where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought. But yes, soul expression. You have to ask yourself, when you want for your outer appearance to reflect the soul that you carry. That is your soul expression. So what does your soul expression look like? You dress how you feel, so start dressing how you feel. When you start showing up in the way that you want your soul to be expressed, that's how you live more in your soul and less in your flesh. That's how you are closer to your higher self. You are aligning with your higher self when you are doing what your soul feels called to do, not what your flesh feels called to do. My flesh did not want to do. My flesh didn't even think about something like this. But my soul did. And when I listened to my soul, it made a difference. And you can start it at any time. Start it at any time. It's okay for you to one day just up and decide, I want to do something different with my life, and go for it. Look at what I did. It was one day I'm sitting here talking to you all with the bald head and the whatever. And then all of a sudden one day I'm dressing more modest, wearing a hijab, and I'm speaking about this new phase of my journey. It's okay for you to one day just decide, I want something different. I want something new. It's okay. You have every single day is a chance for you to reinvent yourself. Every single day that you are gifted is a new day for you to reinvent yourself and for you to show up authentically, unapologetically you. Because when you show up being unapologetically you, you are basically inspiring others to do the same. And when you show up as your true authentic self and you are fully in your vibe, you're going to attract your tribe. So back to that question about how do I find my people? By being your people, by being you. When you are you, that's how you attract like-minded souls to you. But you have to first show up for yourself. That's how they can see you. You got to let them see you. You have to be seen. Allow yourself to be seen. Don't hide yourself anymore. Allow yourself to be seen. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say as well. When it comes to healing from certain situations and experiences that you've had in your life, you do not have to have all of the answers on how to heal from certain things that happen in your life. For example, narcissistic abuse. We do not have all of the answers on how to heal from narcissistic abuse. It's okay if at the moment you are still trying to figure out how you can heal. But listen, I had this conversation with myself. It was last night. It was last night I was having this conversation with myself, and I'm just like, I don't even really know fully how to heal from all of this narcissistic abuse that I endured. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do most of the time. And I had to be real with that. I had to be real with myself and say, I don't have all the answers. I do not know. I'm learning. But that was the realest conversation I had with myself in a long time, because I try to be this brave person and act like, like I dealt with narcissistic abuse. I know what to do. I know how to. It's okay for you to not know. And basically what I was telling myself is, I'm like, I don't have to know fully how to heal myself to begin healing from narcissistic abuse. We heal along the way. And as we move forward, we will be revealed and we will gain the wisdom on how we can heal, but we must continue to move forward. You don't have to know how to heal to begin your healing. You have to just begin your healing. Work with what you do know what to do. So I'm saying, okay, well, since I don't fully know how to heal our nervous system from this, I don't know how to fully do this, what is the first step to my healing that's going to help me? Is talking about what I've been through, so that I can allow myself and that version of myself to be heard, to be seen, and for those emotions to be validated. Same as you talking about it. You allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to be heard, allowing your emotions to be validated, allowing your experience that you went through to be real and validated and not gaslit. That's the first step, is talking about it, is releasing it. Because a lot of people say, oh, just let it go. It's easier said than done. There's a process to letting go. Some people want to skip ahead to the very end and they want to say, oh, I've let it go, but you got all of this baggage behind you. No, when you actually work through it, like this is the process. You got to work through it yourself and really move through it to get to the other side. You can't just jump over here. No, you got to really go through it. And the people that actually go through the process, by the time they get here, they have all this wisdom, they have all this clarity, they have all this strength, they have all this power. Your healing process is to heal your pain and give you power. But you must go through the process to get the power. You can't get the power if you don't go through the process. Let me say that again. You cannot gain your power from your pain if you are not willing to go through the process. What is the process? The process to healing is actually doing the internal work, which is feeling the emotion. That's the biggest part of healing. And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people want to just say I'm healed, say I'm over it, but they don't do nothing about internally here. They are skipping a major part of their process. So they're not gaining the power. They're not alchemizing the power. They're not alchemizing the pain, They're not alchemizing the pain. The pain is staying there. The people that are the most healed are the ones that actually did the work. They actually sat there and felt those emotions. They sat there and they got as mad as they needed to get. They sat there and they got as sad as they needed to get. They released that emotion. That's the only way you will heal, is by you feeling the emotion to release it. You can't release it without feeling it first. And that's the thing about Earth. This dimension is so difficult to master because you go through so many things for your soul to heal, but you have to go through the work. Your soul has to feel it. A lot of people don't want to put in the work. That's why a lot of people, they come back here and they stay low vibrational for many, many lifetimes. They don't ascend. They don't wake up because they are unwilling to do the internal work. If you are a person where you know you've been doing the internal work, continue to do that. Keep on going. Listen, because there are people out there that want to try to judge you for where you are and try to rush your healing process when they themselves have not done the inner work on themselves. People that fake healing, when I mean by fake healing, I mean they say, oh, I'm healed. Like, I got over that. I let that go. But they still got all of this pain in their system. They're just saying that they're healed. They're just saying that they're healed, but they still got all of this pain in their system. They're fake healing. They're doing all of this to prove themselves. They're letting their words speak more than their actions and more than their energy. But people that really heal, they don't need to go ahead and just alert the press and media and say, oh, I'm healed, I'm good on that. Nah, they just be like, it'll just be a difference in their energy. When the situation is brought up, they'll have a different response. They won't react, they'll have a different response. You'll feel it in their energy. A person, when they're more healed, they're calmer, they're more gentle, they're less impulsive, they are less reactive. People that fake healing, people that don't do the internal work, people that want to rush the process, you got to stay away from people like that, because what they will do is, if you ever try to open up and be vulnerable about your pain and your traumas, and you're talking to somebody that honestly is and you're talking with somebody that does not want to do the inner work, if you're talking about your pain, because they like to just brush their issues under the rug, they're going to do the same exact thing to you. Like, you could tell them about something that happened and okay, well, it happened to me too. Get over it. Let it go. We ain't got to dwell on it. But basically what they're doing is, I'm so uncomfortable with my own emotions and my own pain that I can't be comfortable with somebody else's emotion and somebody else's pain and trauma. So I'm going to invalidate them so that I don't have to give them the emotional support that I don't even know how to give myself. That's all it is. Because when a person can give somebody else empathy, compassion, and emotional support, it's because they already give it to themselves. When you already give empathy, love, compassion to yourself, you can give it to everybody else. But when a person does not give that to themselves, they can't give it to nobody. So that's why, do not take what those people do personally, because it's not personal to you. It's personal to them. They don't know how to heal. They don't want to put in the work to heal. They don't know how to they don't know how to give emotional support, because they can't even give that to themselves. The relationship that a person has with themselves is going to be a mere reflection of the relationship that they have with everybody else. And if they have a poor relationship with themselves, they're going to have a poor relationship or friendship with everybody else. But if they have a great relationship and a great friendship with their self, then they're going to have a great friendship and relationship with everybody else as well. So when you see people that act out and they act funny and they do that, it's honestly because they do not have that same relationship with themselves. They don't. And in that case, what you'll have to do is, if being friends with a certain person, or if being around a certain person requires you to lower your vibration to match them where they are at, you need to leave that alone. Because you want people to be up here to match your energy. If you up here, of course, people that's down here want you around them. And because they can't meet you up here, they'll say all of this stuff to you to make you think that you down here with them when you really up here. Because they have not healed, they'll try to basically make it seem like you have not healed so you can spend time with them. I'm telling you, low vibrational people will do whatever it is that they can to get inside your energy, even if that means completely lying to you about something, just because they want to get in your energy. But the thing is, if you have to lower your energy, that's not a connection that you need to be around, okay? You want to be around people that are matching you up here, because when you are getting ready to level up, you are going to have people that come into your life where you here, baby, but somebody up here. Like, you here and somebody here. So meaning you have to challenge, when you interact with these higher vibrational people, you basically have to challenge yourself and raise your vibration to meet them. It's requiring you to vibrate higher. Because if y'all are vibrating at the same frequency, it's going to boom. But if y'all are vibrating at different frequencies, it's going to dismantle, right? And sometimes a high vibrational person, even if you are a high vibrational person, but this person may be higher than yours, and you may be doing something that may be lowering their vibration, they're going to walk away, right? And that's going to be a very humbling experience for you. But it's okay, because it taught you, I need to level up. I need to just raise my vibration. Those people come into your life so that you can challenge yourself and level up and vibrate higher. But that's how you know those people are sent by God, because when they're sent by God, you're gonna see a lot of reflections of yourself in them. You're gonna see all of the great, good qualities of yourself in them. But they are going to be like a more elevated version of you. It's a version like they're probably gonna be further along in life than where you are in your life. But they are there to be a form of inspiration. We are not, when God sends these high vibrational people into your life, we are to not be jealous of them. We are to not be envious of them, because you will block your blessings. If you feel any type of envy, you have to love yourself. You can stop envy with love. You can stop jealousy in its tracks when you love the envy. That envy is a feeling. You have to love it, give it love, so that it does not grow into jealousy. And like, love stops envy from becoming jealousy. But hatred with envy grows into jealousy. Because envy is a natural thing that we feel, but it's only when a person is jealous is when they take action on it. You have to stop yourself before that can happen, right? So listen, you are not to be jealous of these people, okay? And if you feel envious of them, it's something that you have to heal within yourself. You have to love that version of yourself. Love whatever it is, and let yourself know that it's okay. Love that version of yourself. Love it. Whatever it is that you are envious about, if you feel it coming, love it so deeply. Love it until that envy goes away. I'm on live.
I need those boxes.
What boxes?
To the TV. I need the boxes and the remote.
Okay, you can come get them. Gotta love that version. But that's how you know those people are sent by God, right? But if anybody comes, when you're getting ready to level up, and if you up here at this high vibration, and if anybody is coming here in your life and they down here at this vibration, they're not, listen, low vibrational people, they ain't gonna challenge themselves to come up here to meet you. No, they gonna stay down here. They gonna stay exactly right here in a low vibrational place, and they're gonna require you to bring your vibration down to match them and meet them where they are at. And low vibrational people like that, like energy vampires, they have to manipulate their way to get it. They have to feed you lies, feed you doubt, feed you confusion, just to feed you fear to bring your vibration down, because fear is the lowest vibration. Love is the highest vibration. When you are operating in love, you are operating in the highest vibration. But when you are operating in fear, you are operating in that lower vibration. So when people want to bring your vibration down, they're gonna instill fear in you, make you afraid of something, make you scared, or whatever the case is, to bring you down. They'll instill doubt in you. They'll use your insecurities. They'll use your vulnerabilities against you. If you feel like being around a person where you have to revert back to your old ways, where you have to lower your vibration, where you have to talk about your, like, if it's a trauma bond, like, the only way y'all really have conversations is if both of y'all are venting and talking about your traumas. Like, y'all can't talk about nothing else. Y'all can't talk about nothing positive. If you have to bring yourself down, If you have to talk to that friend and on every single time y'all gossip, if you got to bring your vibration down, if you have to gossip about people just to have a conversation with them, that's bringing your vibration down. That's bringing you down. No. Small minds discuss people. It's what they say, like, small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. You have a great mind. Discuss ideas. If you cannot discuss ideas with certain people that you talk to, with certain friends, then leave those friends alone. Find you some friends that you could actually discuss ideas with. And until those friends come into your life, until you find those friends, then just talk to yourself. Spend time with yourself, because baby, I guarantee you, it is better for you to be independent by yourself and be your own best friend than to be friends with people that are of low vibration and all they're doing is bringing your energy down. Because they do say that you become like the 5 people that you hang around. So if you are hanging around a person that gossips all the time, you're going to turn into a person that gossips. If you are around a person that likes to, go clubbing and going out to the bars every single weekend, you're going to turn into one of those people. If you are if you run into people that all they want to do is discuss their past and their traumas and discuss their problems, but they don't want to discuss no solution, you're going to turn into one of those people. If you run into those people where all they want to do is talk about, what's going on over here on Facebook, what's going on over here on the news, what's going on over here in this drama, what's going on over here with this drama. They want to sit here and discuss other people and point out flaws in other people. You're going to turn out just like those people. The big one, if you are around somebody that's living paycheck to paycheck, that's okay with being in poverty, that's content with where they are, but you want to level up, you want financial freedom, you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, you don't want that struggle, you don't want poverty, you want abundance, you want to put in the work to get your abundance. You can't be around somebody that's content with being paycheck to paycheck. You got to get away from those people, because listen, those people that want to be around you because they see you got something going for yourself, they want to kind of like cloud off of you. They basically want to like get a one up by being around you, because they feel like they can get a piece of your abundance. They can get a seat at your table. They can get a piece of your pie when they ain't put in no work. No, those people are opportunists. People that feel entitled to you and your resources. No. You got to get away from those people, because if you are the type of person where you don't like to gossip anymore, you don't like to go out and go club no more, you don't like to, like, whenever you want to talk about your traumas, you want to discuss how you can heal from. You don't want to just continue reiterating the same old issue that you've been dealing with for years that you haven't even worked to address. Those people that want to, everybody got those types of friends that they constantly dealing with that toxic lover of theirs, the person that they've been on and off with for several years, the person that's not even been loyal to them, the person that's just sent them through the ringer. I mean, it's like you've been on and off with this person for years. They done shown you how they not loyal to you. They done shown you who they are, and you still are choosing to deal with them. And then what they want to do is they want to call you up and be, hey, boo, guess what he did? Because he did. Wasn't the last time we talked on the phone, you said you was going to be done with him? So now you want to sit here and get on my phone and talk about him when months ago you said you was done with him? You don't even being a woman of your word. You don't even being a man of your word. So why should I sit up here and waste my time listening to you? That's not wrong. That's you protecting your boundaries, because they need to hold themselves accountable. If they don't want to be a woman or a man of their word, they can't come around here and bring that energy to you. No, they need to deal with their stuff. It's like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Eventually, people going to run out their resources. Eventually, people going to drain their resources. Because if they're constantly dealing with the same issue and they want to complain to you about the issue that they are allowing continuously in their life, I don't want to listen to you complain about that bullshit no more, baby. I want to hear what you're going to do about it. You got to get away from those people, bro. Because those people are comfortable in their chaos. They are content in their chaos. and they can influence you to do the exact same. You need to hang around people that are okay. Hang around people that are smarter than you. Spend time with people that are wiser than you. Spend time with people that have more money than you. No, don't be trying to take their money. You learn, how can I have that financial freedom like you did? You need to hang around people that, you know, are more healed than you are, so that you can learn, how can I be healed like them? You need to hang around people that are more spiritually evolved than you are. It's like, how did you get to this point of your spiritual journey? You want to be around people that are either at your level, moving forward, putting in the work to move forward, or people that are already at a much higher level than you are, because that could be your inspiration. They could be your teacher. You could be the student on how you can get to that next level. But at this point, if you being friends with people or spending time with people when it's like, you are the wisest, you the smartest, you probably got the most money, you the most spiritually evolved, you the most healed, what exactly are you gaining by being around these people? Absolutely nothing. And it be those people that want to be around you and use your energy because they don't want to put in the work themselves. They want to just stay where they are. And if they want to stay where they are, leave them where they're at. It's time for you to level up in your life. Not everybody can be around you right now. We got a month and a half left. We got 7 weeks left in this year. 7 weeks. And it's about time that these last 7 weeks is your 7 weeks. Yours. Don't let nobody distract you. Don't let nobody come up in here and try to deter you no way. Don't let nobody come up in here and try to instill doubt in you. Don't let nobody come up in here and try to steer you astray. You stay on that narrow path. You stay moving forward. You done wasted enough time dealing with other people. It's no more. This last 7 weeks of this year is up to you. This last 7 weeks is for you. Be selfish. You have every right to be as selfish as you want to be, but don't be selfish where you hurting other people in the process. No, don't be hurtful when you but be righteously selfish. Be selfish with your time, on the time that you give to other people. Be selfish with the energy that you give to other people. Not everybody deserves your time. Not everybody deserves your energy. Be selfish with what you invest your time into. Be selfish with how much you scroll through social media. Be selfish with how much time you spend watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, Hulu, HBO, whatever the case is. Be selfish with that. It's okay for you to be a little selfish. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, it's okay for you to be selfish, because you need to be, because you got to put yourself first. These last 7 weeks, put yourself first. So that way, going into this new year, you to set yourself up straight. The way that you can have a great 2023 is the month going into 2023, stellar consistency, straight consistency. And the way that you can have that month of December, that month before 2023, going into this new year, straight consistency, is you have to start now. You have to start today with getting yourself consistent. I have been waking up for the past couple of weeks. It's been since like around Halloween. It was like right before Halloween. I have been, or was it on Halloween was the first day I did that? Whatever. We're going to say, yeah, I believe it was, because Halloween was on a Monday, right? Yeah. Ever since Halloween, I have been setting my alarm to get me up at 4 a.m. every day. And I have a whole spiritual routine to do. Now, I'll be honest with you. The spiritual routine of what I want to do, like journaling, yoga, and all of that kind of stuff, reading my word, I haven't been as consistent with the routine itself. But what I have been consistent with is getting up during those hours. Between the hours of like 4 a.m. to like 7:30 before I have to leave and go to work. Those few hours are for me. And I was having a conversation with myself this morning, and I'm like, Even though you may not have the routine down packed, you are getting your body adjusted to waking up this early. You are getting consistent with being up during these hours. What time do I go to bed? I try to go to bed around like 10 o'clock because that'll give me like 7 hours. You know, if I go to sleep a little bit later, and then I'll be a little tired, but I really strive to be in bed, lights out by 10 o'clock because that'll give me enough hours of sleep, right? But I do notice that around like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm getting sleepy because I'm waking up so early. But yeah, so like I was saying, basically my body is getting adjusted to being consistent with getting up during those hours, because when your body gets used to just being up, you can do whatever else you want to do. And this is the whole thing about getting into a new routine, is you got to be patient with yourself. You got to be consistent with something, okay? So even though you may not be able to do your whole routine where I get up, I make my bed, I pray, then I do my yoga, then I read my word, then I journal. Even if you may not be able to get all of that right away, get consistent with just being up around that time, because your body's going to get adjusted and everything else will adjust within itself. Sometimes you got to work backwards. I realized I was working backwards. I'm like, let me just get adjusted to being up. And then the more that I'm comfortable and consistent with getting up, then I can start orchestrating a whole routine, you know? And also allowing yourself to kind of like be up, but go with the flow of your life. Like, go with the flow of your soul. What are you guided to do? Like, I pretty much was guided to spend a lot of time just, you know, openly meditating, just talking to God, talking to myself, to praying, like, and the showering was like the last thing that I did. I mean, it even got to a point where like I even knew that I wanted to designate some time specifically to just pray. Like, when I tell you, like this morning, I got down on my knees, head down, praying. Like, I literally was, you know, how Muslims pray, how they get down on their knees and their head is down. I was praying just like that because I felt so much more connected to God that way. Really. Like, I'm spiritual, I'm not Muslim, but there are customs of Islam culture, of Muslim religion, that I really do like. Like, I like how they pray 5 times a day. That's something that I want to challenge myself to do. I haven't been able to do it yet, but I know that I can pray 5 times a day because it brings you so much more connected to God, right? But yeah. So get yourself consistent. And honestly, what I feel chosen was, like, everybody listening to this video right now, it's something about that 4 a.m. energy. When you tap into that 4 a.m. energy and you raise your vibration, like, you have a lot more energy to function with throughout the day. And if we can have high vibrational beings waking up around 4 a.m., just getting themselves into their own personal vibration, we are all one. So when your vibration raises, it's gonna be a ripple effect for everybody. So imagine if all of us can do that. All of us chosen ones, all of us light workers, we're getting up at 4 a.m. and doing what we got to do. Let me tell you, I mean, listen, when my alarm goes off at 4 a.m., first thing I do is I hit the snooze button. And I kind of just sit there and I lay. And you snooze for like 9 minutes, right? And I kind of just lay because I'm not ready to just pop out of bed. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit there and I'll lay.